Let's go and let's generate the mines here. Now, what we're going to be using is something called a for loop. And a for loop works kind of like this. Imagine if you had to wash the dishes and you had to do it something like 50 times. Well, instead of writing out the code, for example, take a dish, soak it, clean it, rinse it off, put it in the tray. Okay, instead of writing that out 50 times, you could write that out once in a for loop. So a loop is designed for you to do the same task over and over again without writing it out manually. So for loops are super important and they're the basic foundation of automation. So if you want to do anything that's not games, something like automation here, we'll go ahead and use some for loops here. But for now, Swift actually does something really cool with for loops. So let's do a random function. We'll call this randomly generate mines. All right, that function does exactly what we're supposed to. Now we're going to go to for underscore in one dot mine quantity. Okay, and we're going to take a look at that up here. It's mine quantity. Okay, so we'll go back down, paste in here, and I'm going to explain what this does in a second. Okay, and then we're going to go to spawn mine. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to start at 1 and loop to the maximum amount of times. In this case, mine quantity is equal to 3. So let's go and let's add in this right here. So if we run it, well, actually nothing happens because of course we have to call this function. So let's go ahead and let's do that. We'll call this randomly generate mines. All right, and we'll stop it and run it again. And by the way, save it if you haven't already done so. Always save your work as much as you can. And there you go. So every time we run this here, we can do that. And you'll see that it will spawn the mines in a different location. Now, if we want to, watch this. If I go to randomly generate mines within our override function touches began, it will call the function. Okay, and we'll go ahead and do that here. So every time you click, it'll just generate another 3 mines. And look at that, pretty good stuff. And you can see this is working out pretty good. Generates 3 mines here. Now, of course, it doesn't delete the mines because that's a whole other code here. And if you want to always debug your code and test it out, you can always just simply call the function that you are trying to debug and kind of test out within this for touches here. So we now have pretty much our randomly generating mines here, and they will randomly generate here. Okay, so we did find out that pretty much worked. We had everything, the spawn mines worked, and that does indeed all work there. All right, this concludes the tutorial.